Welcome to Damo Works Podcast. My name is PA Clarke. We are continuing our three-part series. This is the final part of the series, and it's talking about threads and tummy loose skin. Loose skin on the tummy occurs from many different factors. Some of it is by losing weight, post-pregnancy, genetics. This causes the skin to drop and droop. So let's say you've lost 20, 30, 40, 100 pounds. And now you look great, you look amazing, but what are we going to do with the skin that doesn't want to tighten back up? We have two options. We can either cut the skin, or we can try to shrink the skin. Actually, three options: shrink the skin, or the third option, we can do thread lifting to kind of lift and support the tummy skin. Have you ever seen a Cody with the thread lifting of the abdomen in person?
Not in person. I would really love to see it.
Okay, so with this individual, we're looking at picture number one. Picture number one, patient presents with looseness on the skin. What it looks as though is that the sides are drooping downward, the belly button is in the center, and it looks almost as though the skin itself is falling to the sides, creating kind of like a Christmas tree pattern.
To me, it looks like they've been working on themselves heavily, working out, and this is the last little bit of skin
that they have left.
That they had left, yeah.
And they really can't. So the markings and say, no, this is not my image. This is an image that we pulled from from a website. And you can see that there's some grid patterns that are marked on the skin. These are where the threads will go. Now, this pattern, I with my patients, I do not use this type of pattern. I feel that just to go up will not do the same result. But apparently we have an after result that looks decent. Unfortunately, we cannot see the full image of the individual, so we don't know if the skin is being pulled up or helped up by the individual. But this is what thread lifting can do for the abdomen. Okay. Now, we can switch to image number two, which shows more of a grid pattern. In this series, we are talking about the thread lifting. Thread lifting doesn't only mean to lift up, but it also means to support the abdomen. It cannot be done on everyone. Some individuals, the skin is way too loose and they require surgery. But then there's the individuals like this image number two. She's just presenting for firmness of the abdomen. She wants the skin a little tighter. She wants the skin to look better. How does threads do that? Well, threads are made from materials that PDO material, which is a polymer, and what it does is stimulates collagen growth within the skin itself. So with the pattern of the outlay up and down, what we're having is we're creating a grid below the skin. And if you can see this thread against my jacket, maybe you can see it, there's a blue thread here. This is the actual thread. This thread is the PDO, polydioxanol. And what it does, it lays underneath the tummy or under the skin, and it just sits there. But over time, this thread dissolves. As the thread is dissolving, collagen is being built around the thread using the body's immune system of inflammatory reactions to create more collagen. That collagen leaves a smoother outer layer of skin because we're robustly increasing the number of collagen fibers in the skin. I would say that on this image, I am very critical when it comes to addressing treatment before and after pictures that are not mine. Again, image number two is not mine. On this image, we can see that this patient would require a lot more threads than you see here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 threads horizontally and only 5 threads vertical. These look like maybe Nova threads. 29 gauge are the gray ones, 27 gauge are the gray ones, 29 gauge are the pink ones. Now the pink 27 gauge is very small. I don't believe it's long enough to treat this abdomen. I will show you a gauge that's not 29 but more 18, which is this one. It's very thick, but it's still short. The image in this picture shows a 29 gauge that is much smaller. I don't have it here, but a 29 gauge that is much smaller No, that's much smaller and thinner. So it's not really going to give the result that this patient is looking for. But this image demonstrates the different patterns that can be used below the surface of the skin to create a better looking skin tone. And if this is the case for this patient, it's a wonderful result. But she doesn't have looseness of the skin, and so we're not looking to lift the skin in general. Hence, it comes to the third case. Now, this case is actually my patient, and I've labeled it as before 4 months and 8 months. So, Cody, I don't believe you know this individual because she came to me after you were have been here.
Blown away. This is, I mean, this is game changing. Like,
it's game changing.
I have so many friends that are in the stage of life where they're having children, and they're, you know, they're very similar to the before picture right now, having, my best friend just had twins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I never thought that it would be possible. I have so many questions about this.
Wow. So, so this individual presented to me looking for a remedy for her loose skin because she was traveling and she wanted to wear her clothes that revealed her beautiful body. She's a beautiful girl. She's very thin, but she has this loose skin. And again, this could be a genetically predisposed individual to loose skin, and what you're finding is the draping of the skin on both sides. So I don't believe she had a massive amount of weight because she's a very skinny individual. She's always been skinny. The before picture is darker.
Yeah, so wait, you're saying she was always been skinny, so this is just genetic?
Mostly.
And what size threads did you end up using? Like, walk us through this process.
So
did she
I'll
get
walk
one
you through.
treatment, 2 treatments, 3
Right.
treatments?
So 2 sessions that were done. The first session, she has I believe this is a sun tanning lotion.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
the skin is more tan. So this session, where it's necessary for me to evaluate the skin, the integrity of the skin, the thickness of the skin, how much looseness there is, and to kind of really see how much lift I can get for the patient, and then to show the patient that. During the treatment, we were using 18 gauge needles, which is typically this size. So with this size, we can get below the belly button and above the belly button. And we use approximately 20 of these threads that were used.
20, okay.
So it is an uncomfortable procedure.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel some discomfort. But 20 threads were used, both horizontal and vertical and diagonal. Remember, when the skin drapes, it's in multiple directions that skin is draping. If you look at month number 4, you can see that the tightening is happening. It's working. It's not a magical treatment where you're gonna leave my office the same day with tight skin. It's going to take time. So I suggest to my patients who are interested in this procedure to do it more closer to the fall months. That way by the springtime, by the summertime, it looks amazing. Skin takes time to heal. Skin takes time to evolve, to smoothen out. Now we look at month number 8. You can see that there's full tightness in the abdomen. And this patient was very elated by the results. I mean, this is just, you don't see results this clean. Sometimes you may see decent results, but these are clean results. And
What's amazing about this too is not only is the skin tighter, but it seems like the epidermis of the skin is healthier. Like you can see
the collagen count has increased.
Yeah, like
correct.
You see little holes in areas of the top layer of the skin where it's like almost like her pores are bigger.
Right.
But the 8-month result, the skin looks younger.
Now I have pictures of the procedure during with the threads in place, but I am one of those practitioners that don't like to put the gore and the needles and the blood on the screen. I don't think it's necessary. But I would say wonderful results, and thread lifting is one of those procedures that will just continue over time. And it doesn't replace surgical options. It's just another tool in that tool chest to work on our beautiful bodies to stay looking as great as we want to look. So thank you very much for watching the episode. If you've learned a lot from this episode, you can leave us comments on how we do the procedure, when we decide to do the procedure, what you want to know about the procedure. But this is thread lifting of the abdomen, and it works wonderful when it's done in the right hands. Hey guys, if you're enjoying these videos, take a look at my new book, The Lust for Medical Beauty. This has everything you need to know about the origins of facial beauty, where it can take you, and why we need so much more. So check out Amazon #1 bestseller. It's the only place you can get it now, The Lust for Medical Beauty.